Welcome to another edition of Our City. I'm Mayor Chris Bolwage, and a few things going around the city of Elizabeth this week. On Tuesday, April 18th, around 5:30, I'm going to attend a Taste of the Towns event. It's hosted by Community Access Unlimited in their brand new office building at 80 West Grand Street. For more information, please call Jonathan Jones at 908-354-3040, extension 4696. And lots of good restaurants from the city of Elizabeth will be participating. On Wednesday, April 19th, I'm going to join the Greater Elizabeth Chamber of Commerce. Their Business After Hours social networking event will be held at Alvarez Cafe, located at 511 Elizabeth Avenue. All businesses are welcome. Please call 908-355-7600 for more information. And later that evening at 7 o'clock, the Elizabeth Port Parents Support Groups will have their first annual meet and greet in honor of National Autism Awareness Month. This event will be held at Dolce Restaurant, located at 17 Broad Street in our city. Proceeds from this event will go to benefit the Elizabeth Port Parents Support Group and the children. On Thursday, April 20th, around 5 o'clock in the evening, the Health and Human Services Department, their Division of Office on Youth, will hold the final round of their spelling bee contest. This is for grades 5 through 8. The event will take place at the main branch of the Elizabeth Public Library, located 11 South Broad Street. And for more information, please call Julie Muldrew at 908-820-4203. And on Friday, April 21st, at 6 o'clock in the evening, I'm going to join members of the Rotary Club of the City of Elizabeth. This will be their 100th, their centennial celebration gala. It's going to be held at the Renaissance Newark Airport Hotel, which is located at 1000 Spring Street near Newark Airport. If you would like more information for this event or you wish to purchase tickets, please contact Mr. Ken Ricuzzo at the Rotary Club at 908-451-3665. And on Saturday, April 22nd, a busy day beginning at 10 o'clock in the morning, the Portugal Day Committee will have their annual fishing derby in Warnaco Park. Participants are encouraged to bring their own fishing poles and bait. Fishing poles are only available by the organizers while supplies last. This event is open to all ages 17 years and younger. Picnic tables, barbecue grills will be available. It's always been a really fun day. So for more information, please contact 908-906-7151. And following that event, I'm going to join members of the 6th Ward at their annual community breakfast, which will be held at the Ford Leonard Senior Towers, located at 69 Division Street. And on Sunday, April 23rd, at 8 o'clock in the morning, I will be attending the 3rd annual Run for Children fundraiser. This event, which will begin and end in Warnaco Park, is a 5K or a 2-mile fun walk that benefits the Friends of the Child Advocacy Center of Union County. We're going to learn more about the Child Advocacy Center in Union County, as it will be the subject of this evening's show. Later that afternoon, I'm going to present a commendation at the Boy Scouts of America Troop 101 Court of Honor dinner. This event is held at Our Lady of Fatima Church, located at 403 Spring Street. So if you need more information concerning these events I just talked about, or any other event in the city of Elizabeth, please call our Public Information Office at 908-820-4124. Please stay with us after these messages, where we're going to talk about the Run for Children event here in our city.
We have some of the finest teachers in the country. And then they graduate. Kane University.
Welcome back to our city, where I'm pleased to be joined by Mr. Andrew Ertman, and he is the chairman of the Friends of the Child Advocacy Center of Union County. Andrew, I know you like to go by Drew, correct?
That's correct.
So Drew, tell me about yourself, first of all.
I live in Union County. During the day, I'm a banker. I help companies raise money for capital purposes, and at night I help, and during the day as well, help raise money for children's causes.
Now tell us, how did you get involved? You told me before we started the show that you first got involved with the prosecutor's office 5 years ago, but you've been raising money for child causes for a few years.
For many years, I have. Back 5 or 6 years ago, I was doing fundraising for the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, which is a federal-private partnership based in Washington, D.C. that helps find missing children and helps exploited and missing children. And that's where I got introduced to the prosecutor's office, and that's where I decided to put some time and effort in helping the Child Advocacy Center.
So as the chairman of the group, Drew, are you doing most of the work, or do you have a committee? How's that world working out for you?
We do have probably 15 people on our board, and most of the board participants are active, and this is our one single fundraiser for the year. We started it 3 years ago, and we look to raise hopefully $40,000 this year on this 5K race and 2-mile fun run.
Well, years ago, the City of Elizabeth partnered with the prosecutor's office, and it kind of fell off a little bit when we kicked off the Union County Advocacy Center. And I'm thrilled that you and others have picked up this race and have continued it at a much higher level as well.
Yes, the City of Elizabeth has been very generous to co-sponsor the race along with the Union County Board of Freeholders and the Friends of the Child Advocacy Center, and a lot of effort goes in. We probably have 50 volunteers that will help make the day go off without a hitch, and hopefully it will be beautiful weather, and it's a great way to raise money. All the proceeds from the race go to the Child Advocacy Center, which is the center in Union County that helps children who are abuse victims.
Now, Drew, when the Union County Advocacy Center started on Westfield Avenue. Before your involvement, they bought a house, and it was the thought process of the city and the prosecutor's office in the mid-'90s that if children were abused in any way, shape, or form, that they would have a comfortable setting in which to tell trained investigators their story. So describe the Advocacy Center on exactly what's inside the building.
Yes, so within the building, all 7 or 8 disciplines who deal with helping victims of child abuse, whether it's detectives, investigative people, whether it's prosecutors, nurses, psychologists, child protection services, all these people are now housed in one location in Elizabeth, in a facility that we dedicated 5 years ago. And it's really considered state-of-the-art, this concept of a wraparound model, so that when children get brought in to be interviewed, they do not have to get pulled along to different locations. Prior to 1995, before the initial Advocacy Center was created, the children used to have to go from a police station to the prosecutor's office and get tugged around to doctors' offices, and it was very intimidating and not very welcoming and warm. And now at the Child Advocacy Center, the children are brought and can, in a much different and a positive setting, speak to the adults that are doing their investigative work, as well as the psychologists and that's really what our money supports. Union County does not provide enough funding to pay for all the psychologists' time that need to help the children get back on track once the abuse stops. And oftentimes it takes years of counseling to help the children recover. And that's what our funding goes to. It's a very singular purpose, but it goes to pay for all the psychologists that interact with the children from the time they enter the center until the time they are done with the case or however it gets resolved. And I would say in the 5 years I've been affiliated with it, the number of children that get brought to the center each year is increasing quite a bit. And so last year, I think in 2016, 1,100 children within Union County were seen at the center. So the need is growing, and we want to raise as much money as we can on April 23rd so that we can continue to provide the support we need.
We talked about the phenomena before the show about more children coming through the center. It's probably a combination of things. There's more of an awareness, and there's also teachers and others who can notice things in the classroom where if abuse is occurring, they can then send the children for the proper counseling, where before 1995, a lot of that education wasn't available.
I would agree with that. It's the combination of the prosecutor's office with law enforcement, speaking to the schools within the county and trying to get people to come forward so that they can provide the help and services that are required.
Now, are you a runner, Drew?
I am a runner. I have run the last 2 years. I'll be running on April 23rd. I'm not the fastest runner. The one
I was
thing
just going to ask you if you win every year.
No, I do not win.
But
But what we did do 2 years ago was decide to give prize money, gift cards, to the top 3 finishers for women and men. So that will be the same. We also have an autographed football from one of the Giants players that we will give out to someone. We're trying to figure out if we should give it to the fastest child. But we'll have some goodies. Everyone gets a T-shirt, the weather, and then local food restaurants and establishments have donated. We get great cupcakes from Bavella's in Westfield. We'll have chocolate milk from Dryers in Cranford. Water's being donated by Wakefern, ShopRite. So a lot of the local community businesses have been kind enough to donate bagels and what have you. So there'll be plenty of food, good music. You just have to get there by 8:30, and the race will start at 9 o'clock on time.
On time. It always did. Yeah.
We will make
One
sure.
thing is you're prompt on starting the race.
That's exactly
Which is good
right.
for the people walking around. Do you get any young people running,
The last 2 years we've had a boy, 7 this year. He's 9, and he's as fast as most of the adults. I don't know how he gets his speed, but there was a young man the first year that just blew everyone away, and he'll be back because I saw on the registration he signed up. I cannot remember his first name, but he will be there. And we had some very fast runners that came from outside the area to compete, one because of the prize money, but also to support the cause. So if you cannot attend the race on the 23rd, we've invested in our website and the ability to register on your phone. Everyone seems to have an Android phone, so you can very easily go on your phone, access our website, and donate and or register in a matter of minutes. It's really convenient now.
So, Drew, making a difference one child at a time tells us about that, and the annual 5K race and the fun walk. Not only does it benefit these 1,100 children go through the system, but it all benefits the community as a whole as well.
Yes, getting these children the help they need and helping them lead healthy lives after the abuse has stopped, I think is very important, because child abuse can destroy families, and these are some of the most heinous crimes that law enforcement and the prosecutor's office deals with, and so we want to make sure that the county and the city of Elizabeth is there to help these children. And again, if the nice thing about the course, it's in beautiful Warrenenko Park. You run a loop around, but then you exit the park, go down West Jersey Avenue and to right in front of the Child Advocacy Center, turn around in the circular driveway, and then head back into the park and finish. It's a flat course, but it's nice that people are able to see the Child Advocacy Center when they turn around and head back at the halfway point.
So, Drew, tell us, the Race for Children in the 3rd year that you've helped organize it with the prosecutor's office, anything special about this year's race?
Well,
the football, I like that.
Yeah, we have an autographed football, and the Giants organization also donated keychains that are very, very nice that all the runners and walkers will get. Now, what's special about it is we grew from year 1 to year 2. We want to grow to year 3. The infrastructure is in place. The Elizabeth Police are kind enough to keep the course safe so you can run around the park and also outside the park and back in. We just want to encourage a lot of people to come out. It's early, so it won't take up your whole day. And there's plenty of parking, which I didn't realize originally. I thought there wouldn't be much parking in Warrenenko Park. There's plenty of parking, plenty of facilities, bathrooms to change and or use. And we'll have great food and music before and after the race. So please come out. A lot of people.
What are some of the goals here, Drew, besides education, raising money?
Building awareness within the community. I don't think most people in Union County would think that there would be 1,100 children that would need the services of the Child Advocacy Center. And unfortunately, over the last 3 years, that number has grown from probably mid-700s to well over 1,000. So the need is there. And I think this is one of the greatest assets of Union County, having this Child Advocacy Center. What I do know from the prosecutor and the APs that work in the center, many, many counties within New Jersey, the other 20 counties, as well as nationally, have come to visit our Child Advocacy Center as a role model for those counties to change how they're treating abuse victims. So it's really special that Union County has this facility, and I'm glad that we can provide a leadership role around the country as well as within New Jersey. So we want to continue to be the leader and be able to help children and have people learn from what we do each and every day.
Drew, you talked about some of the sponsors. Did you cover them all? There are more sponsors, and you covered Wakefern, the City of Elizabeth, the County Prosecutor's Office.
Yeah, no,
Giants.
some other ones I can throw out would be Trinitas Hospital. Trinitas Hospital provides the psychologists that we use to counsel in children. So Trinitas, based here in Elizabeth, is a big sponsor. Investor Savings Bank, which I think is Union County based, is also a big sponsor. And we have some car companies. Ray Katina is a sponsor. The Global Auto Group
Maybe we should
is
give
a
away a
sponsor.
Mercedes.
We need to contact Mr. Katina, and maybe one year we'll be able to do that. But we have a Bavella's Bakery, Just Farmed, Dryers Farms, and Gargiulo Produce, which is in Union, is donating oranges and bananas as well. So a
And
lot
all the
of people.
proceeds are directly to the Advocacy Center?
That's right. We had no one on our board. We are a 501c3 created in 2006 to be able to fundraise for the center, but there is no one on our board that receives a penny of compensation. It all goes directly to the center.
Drew, we're going to run a couple of commercials and come back and finish up and talk about the Race for Children.
Thank you very much.
Please stay with us after these messages. We'll be back with more about the Race for Children benefiting the Union County Child Advocacy Center here in the City of Elizabeth.
We're an American original, dependable, historic, nuanced, with all the comforts of home, even when you're just visiting. So we're celebrating for all that we've left untouched and all that we've changed. A place where the past meets the future. So consider this your invitation.
We've been celebrating here in Elizabeth for 350 years, and we're just getting started. Welcome back to our city, where I'm pleased to be joined by Mr. Drew Ertman, who is the chairman of the Union County Child Advocacy Center and working on the run that's going to occur later this month that raises funds for them. Drew, welcome back. The registration process can be cumbersome, but with computers, I guess you could do it all by registering by mail, but there's got to be other ways too, right?
Yes.
By email? Tell us about that process.
It's very easy this year in particular to register because we upgraded our website and is now very friendly via a mobile phone. So if you go to your mobile phone and you type in friends, CACUNJ.org, it will come up quite quickly, and it says sign up for the race or donate to the Friends of the Child Advocacy Center, and it literally, people have told me it takes less than 2 minutes.
So
it's really easy.
Are we having more runners this year than last year? What's the projection, and how are we doing? How many did you have last year? Tell us about that.
So last year we had 150 runners. Of that total last year, 50 were the Union County Police Academy cadets.
I know we had a few of them over there.
That's exactly right. And they ran as a group and chanted and sang as they went, and it was very nice. They'll be back again this year. Right now we have 212 people signed up, of which 150 are runners and the other 60 odd are walkers. There will be plenty of people signing up race day, but we really want to see if we can get well over 200 runners. We have everything set up for the run, and I just encourage everyone to try to come out and run. It'll start at 9, and by 9:30 you'll be done.
Not me, if I was. So Drew, tell me about the route again. We meet near the tennis courts. Is that where they?
By the new track.
By the new track you meet now.
Correct.
Okay.
And we'll be set up there. There'll be the Union County bandwagon will be there. You'll hear the music. And from there, we go around the outside of the park and exit onto West Jersey Avenue and then down to the Child Advocacy Center and back. It's really quick.
You go around the park?
3/4 away around.
Yeah. Because last year the stadium was under construction, so they met at that little
Yes.
alcove area there, right? So
Yes. It's the same place, but now the track's done.
the track's done. Do they run the track at all? Or you don't know?
No, we will not.
You will not.
It will not. But I would say you can register the morning of. We'll be there starting at 8 a.m. So if you'd like to come at 8 o'clock and pick up a T-shirt and a bib, you could do that. And then at 8:30, I believe you will be speaking in front of the audience and making a few comments, and we'll have a couple other guest speakers. But then the race begins promptly at 9 a.m.
So, Drew, you talked about volunteers, and you said 50 volunteers have signed up, or that's how many. What exactly do they all do? Direct the runners?
And the groups are coming from the city of Elizabeth, which we really appreciate. Sergeant Pasternak organized that. They'll be at water stations, so we have at least 3, maybe 4 water stations along the course. They're also going to help with registration. They're going to help people find the restrooms. They're going to be there just to make it very easy for people to get to the starting line and also to finish.
Sometimes in government we have a thing that's called a paid volunteer. You know, they come in and they volunteer, but they're getting paid. So I don't know. I'm only kidding, but it's an.
These are all
these are all real volunteers.
Real volunteers.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that.
Real volunteers.
So it takes about 50 to put this on.
Yes, and we've been working on this for the last 2 months. We have a big banner in front of the courthouse.
Yes.
We have a big banner in front of the Union County Police Station.
City Hall.
City Hall. We really want to try to get people from all throughout Union County to come, but we get tremendous support from the people of in the city of Elizabeth, and we really appreciate that. The goal is to, you asked me about goals before, we would like people to come from all 21 municipalities in Union County. We don't want this to just be a Elizabeth, Roselle, Linden group. We want people to come from Plainfield and all over from east to west to build awareness about child abuse, and also really to showcase the center, which has been a true model for other government projects to try to replicate the success of what we have here in Elizabeth.
And Drew, is the route the same for the walker as it is for the runner?
No, the walker will be, the walkers do not exit the park. So if you don't want to leave the park, you might want to do the walk. It's 2 miles around Warnaco Park.
And the race information, again, in the time, I wanted to make sure our viewers know the exact
Yes, the
date
race
and time.
begins promptly at 9 a.m. First the runners and then the walkers, and 8 o'clock, 1 hour before, we'll be handing out the bibs and the packets, and there'll be some goodies in there. And I would just say, if you have any questions, you can call the Child Advocacy Center at 908-965-3890 and ask for Helene Jackson. She's been coordinating it at the center, but you can certainly go to our website. There's a Contact Us tab, and you can send us a quick email. And again, that is Friends, CAC for Child Advocacy Center, UNJ for Union, New Jersey, Union County, New Jersey.org, O-R-G.
So, Drew, in your work with the Child Advocacy Center, raising money not only for this, do you see successes, or you just strictly stay on the financial side of it? But I would imagine some people come to you and say, you know, Drew, this money helped this kid readjust.
Yes, one of the sponsors that we have had an experience with the center, and they're very grateful for the help their child got. So yes, as we continue to build awareness through this run and other means, it's very gratifying to hear people say that their family members came to the center, were treated well and professionally by the staff. There are approximately 30 people that work full-time at the center, and what I do know is the center runs 24/7. So when children need to be seen and helped, it is not a 9 to 5 thing. The detectives and the prosecutors and the nurses work around the clock to help the kids, because they can be brought to the center at any time of the day, over the weekend. And the Child Advocacy Center also is responsible for finding missing children. So as you know, from time to time, children go missing in Union County, and the center is the epicenter of where that search efforts take place. And so they do more than just treating the children. Sometimes they have to go out and find them.
So the people that work there, at times they could be inundated with phone calls, and they need to work really quickly to assign the proper staff or the personnel to follow up. And it's commendable on the effort that they do there. So, Drew, in finishing up, the Child Advocacy Center, now that it's grown with the number of people visiting there, does that mean naturally we need to keep raising more and more money to help fight this abuse?
Yes, from what the prosecutor's office and the investigative detectives say, we need to raise more money, because there is a mission right now and we've been asked on the board to consider it, is trying to provide counseling for some of the children who live on the west end of Union County that find it difficult to get to Elizabeth for counseling, and we're contemplating setting up services potentially, in the Plainfield area. So I don't foresee the need declining, and I think the more funds that we can raise to provide the counseling will give the Child Advocacy Center a cushion, some breathing room as they continue to be met with, have to deal with the number of children that walk through the door.
And what people should know is child abuse doesn't know race or financial lines, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there are children that are victims of child abuse in all 21 counties in Union County, and it does not know race or gender. It is something that is disturbing, but it has to be dealt with and handled in a very professional and caring way, and that's what the CAC, the CAC as we call it, does each and every day.
And they have trained prosecutors in there all the time as well, right?
They do, and they rotate.
I
don't, some people are there longer than others, but I think they do a very good job exposing the prosecutors and the detectives to some rotation through the Child Advocacy Center. But again, it's been eye-opening for me. I've enjoyed my time on the board, and if anyone who's listening to this wants to join our board and become a member of the Friends of the Child Advocacy Center, please contact me. You can call the center, but we need more people. It tends to fall on a small group of people to do the fundraising, and I would like to see some other Union County residents join the board and help think about ways that we can fundraise away from just the 5K and the 2-mile walk.
Drew, I want to thank you for taking the time out of your schedule to join me on the show this evening. I look forward to seeing you on the day of the race, and I'm rooting for great weather and great success.
Mayor, thank you very much, and thank you for all your help.
Thank you. For Mr. Drew Ertman of the Union County Child Advocacy Center, please join us in that run at the end of April. It's fun, it's exciting, and it raises money for a great cause. We'll see you next week on another edition of Our City.
We're creating tomorrow's jobs today. Kane University.